Okay, great. So let's come into a comfortable position to get centered, connect with ourselves. We're going to be reading a little bit of tarot in a moment. So you're welcome to stay close to your screen. If you want, you can stay seated in a comfortable seat. You could lie down. You could take a favorite shape like a child's pose or constructive rest. So just wherever you feel most comfortable to just kind of connect to yourself, connect to your breath, and kind of drop into the practice. So whatever that looks like for you today is perfect. And as you're finding that shape, you're also welcome to wiggle around. You might want to roll your shoulders or your neck or your toes. And wherever you are, whether you're seated or laying down, try to find a place where you can breathe easily. You can eventually close your eyes or soften your gaze a little bit. Start to tap into your breath, which might mean taking a few sighs. Just starting to drop into your body. Into the way your body is connected to the earth. Physically, in terms of gravity and how you're feeling, the parts of your body that are in contact with your seat or the ground. And also noticing this connection that we have to the land that we're on. And so that can come with allergies, it can come with sunshine, it can come with warmth or cold. And certainly the moon is a part of that, and we'll talk a bit more about that, but just taking a moment to notice how your body is sort of receiving this particular moment in time. And you may or may not be noticing what the moon is doing, which is waxing, sort of past the half moon point and moving toward the full moon. And the full moon is on Thursday, which is St. Patrick's Day. And then the spring equinox is a few days after that. So we're kind of leading up to this, we're building up to this sort of moment of culmination and then a shift in the energy. So generally during a waxing moon at this time, the energy is good. We're kind of building. There's sort of possibility for action happening. And we may also be leading up to kind of the letting go that often happens on the full moon and then the shift to the spring. So I've definitely been thinking about how the energy is shifting. It's not finished shifting in its current form, but it's kind of moving towards that. So just taking a moment to notice, how that's resonating for you, if those energies are feeling present in your life, if you're feeling connected to that. And we'll just take some moments here to just be with that. Okay, so we're going to add to this piece a little bit with our tarot. So I've pulled a card for today's moment, today's moon, today's energy. So if you're not already close to the screen and you want to come take a look, you don't have to, but I'm going to show you the card and we'll read it together. So here's the card from my Tarot of the Divine. This is a new deck that I'm working with. This is the 3 of coins. So I'd love for you to just take a look and tell me what you notice about this card or what you feel when you look at this card. And feel free to just unmute and speak up.
It makes me think of joyful defiance.
Joyful defiance. I love that.
I had a less eloquent way of saying it, but she does not give a fuck.
Could you say that again, Danielle? I just couldn't hear you very well.
My computer's. I had a less eloquent way of saying that she does not give a fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, whatever.
That face, right?
Yeah. What are the creatures up top?
Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit more about what I know about this card in a moment. But I'd first just love to get your initial impressions.
She looks joyfully fearless.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I can't help but look at those things that she's, if it is that she's warding off or battling, but they look pretty horrifying. They look, the one on the right in particular, I feel the trauma. I feel the blue face doesn't seem as in the same character to me. It looks a little bit softer, but it just feels like there's a battle of some sort going on there.
Yeah, this one has kind of like a scythe or something.
Yeah, that too. There's a weapon.
Yeah, and this one has a peacock feather.
And also holding something in their hand. I can't see what that is.
Oh, I think it's a drum.
Right. Oh, that's the continuation.
Yeah, I think the 3 coins are drums here, I think. Yeah.
Is she holding a feather too? Is that, I can't really see it. In her right hand.
She's got a drum, and then I think I read it as just sort of something to hit the drum with. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Gotcha.
But she's got her crown of peacock feathers.
She's barefoot.
Yeah.
They're kind of up on a mountain, like above
her. Yeah, so this particular deck is based on stories and mythology from around the world. So I'm not particularly familiar with this myth, but the basics of it is that this is a story from Nepal, and these are her teachers, or his teachers, actually. I'm not sure the gender. But these are kind of fearsome teachers that are showing this child how to become a shaman, and kind of build their culture from there. And they're very, very difficult teachers. But this shaman, this character, has that joyful defiance of being able to learn those lessons with joy. So when I first looked at this card, not knowing the myth, part of what I thought of was ignorance, just sort of dancing without knowing like the fearsome things that are behind you was sort of like the first thing that I thought of. But after learning a little bit about the myth, I also have been thinking about it as your teacher. Who are your teachers, right? And your teachers potentially being struggle. So, how I'm kind of reading that is that this person is able to find joy and learning and sort of build themselves up and become really powerful in their world by listening to those teachers of anger, fear, trauma, sadness, all of those things that are so difficult in our lives that really do have important lessons to teach us. And the other piece about this card is, of course, the 3 of coins, which has its own sort of significance. And the 3s in the tarot deck are really about, there's 1 and then there's a pair, and then the 3 builds on the pair. So the 3 is really kind of often the foundation and the beginning of something getting going, something starting to really happen. So 3, it's definitely a positive number, but it means movement, it means change, it means going forward. So, for me, the energy of this particular card is really learning and growing through what we can learn. And coins is in the realm of earth, it's in the realm of money, career, sort of material reality, kind of stuff like that. So with that sort of extra information, is there anything else that you guys kind of noticed about that, or want to share about how the story feels to you with that little bit of background?
I think the fact that, I don't know if you can hear me, the fact that they each have a drum and a coin, like they're connected through that. It's not like she's separate from them. And that
Yeah.
makes sense with what you just told us.
Yeah, with the feathers, like she has feather, or he or she has the same feathers or feather. Right. So like there's a sense of lineage there. Yeah.
Lineage, yeah, for sure.
I love the colors. I feel like
Yeah.
everything is so vibrant. Whatever it is, any emotion, I think it's like overly, I guess, felt or experienced by all of these 3 characters. I don't know. It definitely brightens up early, kind of overcast morning we're having here in BC. But like the vibrancy of, I guess, living with emotions and the vibrancy of dealing with emotions and just I guess accepting the fact that emotions sometimes are really like they're really heightened here in this card.
Yeah, absolutely.
You mentioned
Yeah.
that it's a young person or a child, and it makes me think of the learning experience that a child has is so special because they're learning so many things for the first time and don't have experiences and age and wisdom behind them to overthink what they're learning. They just learn it and use it or not and pay attention or not. So that's coming out for me from the look on her face as well.
Yeah, it's the wisdom of beginner's mind, right? Like that, when your cup is full, it's hard to fill it with more. And so when we are learning, there is some real value in letting go of what we've learned before, letting go of how we think we're wise and how we think we know things, and letting ourselves not know, letting ourselves be in a place of like that sort of youthful beginner's mind. Yeah, I love that. I feel like that's a really sweet piece of advice from this card, right? And for me, I think part of how I'm reading this as well today, including with everything that you guys just said, the energy has been feeling very, very dark and very heavy over the last few weeks. It's been really, really intense, and it seems like it's everywhere. Like there's this sort of heavy darkness on everything. And it does feel to me that that energy is beginning to shift, and I think it will continue to shift as we hit the spring equinox. But I think part of what this card is saying is, it's not about just waiting for it to be over necessarily. It's really about learning the lessons from whatever it is that feels heavy, whatever it is that feels hard, including if it's just being in a bit of a mood that can come with late winter where you're just like, oh, like, bleh, I don't have it. That energy is sort of going to come back. And I think that beginner's mind piece is actually really important here as well, because if you're going to learn the lessons of, because this energy for me has felt different, like there's something newly heavy about it. It's not just that it's winter, it's like something else is also going on, like in the field, or however you want to think about it. And so, if we're going to learn the lessons from this, we need to learn those lessons. We need to be open to the lessons, including the hard ones. But also that the thing that comes through that is joy, right? It's like color. It's being able to see hope and optimism, and really like this energy here is around legacy and lineage. It's sort of like learning the difficult lessons from the past and being able to apply that to a brighter future for everyone. It's sort of like the hope. I think this person is like the hope of that culture, being able to change in a positive way. And so that gives me some hope in just thinking about like, maybe this is one of those moments where that heavy energy needs to come in order to show us what's not working so that we actually change it. Because when we don't have these really difficult things come up, we continue on the way that we've been going on, as long as things are okay enough, right? And when things are bad enough to make us change, that can actually be really powerful. And sometimes that change has really positive joyful, beautiful things to come with it. And I think that's just, it's a perfect message for the waxing moon. Like for me, part of the feeling is like, okay, we're not done here yet. We're not quite slipping out of this energy, but we still have some lessons that we need to learn from it. But we are moving towards a shift. There is going to be some relief, I think, coming, some positive change coming. And so we have to, in the moment, just stay present with the difficult lessons. But the way to stay present is let go of what you think you know, let yourself be confused or not know or not see the way forward. But also remember joy, remember happiness, remember dancing, right? Remember the resources that you already have within you so that you can kind of go through that this like transition that we're going through. How does that feel for you guys? Does that resonate? Yeah, anything that you guys want to add?
I was just going to say, well, it's a three of coins, but like the use of threes everywhere, right? The three figures, the three coins, that little swirl has 3 points too. And so just thinking of moving beyond like a kind of binary of like good, bad into kind of more of a liminal third space.
Absolutely. I love that. Yeah, for sure. And I think in that way that this energy doesn't feel like what it has felt like before. It's something new. And yeah, being able to go into that third place, there's a lot of wisdom in letting go of this or that, yes or no, good or bad, that sort of dichotomy of like, it has to be this or that, it can't be both. Letting ourselves be in that place, I think is really, really good wisdom here too. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. Okay, beautiful. So let's move that through our bodies and see where it takes us today. So let's come into a child's pose on our mats. And take your most comfortable child's pose. And if child's pose doesn't work for you, of course, you could lay on your belly or stay seated, whatever works for you. And just start to tap into your breath and kind of let the ideas or the lessons of this three of coins, this waxing moon, settle into your body. Things are shifting, they're going to change, but maybe not in a way that we're expecting or used to. And maybe that's actually beautiful and joyful. Okay, so starting to tap into your breath, and I'm going to invite you to take Ujjayi here. So that's in and out through the nose. And it's a nice, long, smooth breath that expands the ribs on the inhale and gently connects into the core on the exhale. And you're welcome to stay here or start to move with it. So I'm coming up into cat and cow, for example. And I'm going to keep my eyes closed and just inhale into a little bit of a back bend and exhale to curl under. And just really allowing yourself to feel into your body as it is. And so who are our teachers, right? Struggle can certainly be a really important teacher. Pain is a fantastic teacher because it forces us to change. Our bodies in general, amazing teachers that we don't always listen to, right? So if we let ourselves have that beginner's mind, what does it feel like to be in our bodies? Letting ourselves know only the information we're being given in this particular moment. So maybe we're adding circles or side to side motion. Some of us might be up in downward dog already. We're kind of aiming there. If you're in downward dog, you can keep moving with that kind of exploratory energy. And then we can walk to the hands coming into a standing forward bend. Hang down over the legs. You're welcome to bend your knees and rest your elbows on your knees or hang down. You could shake your head out. Again, just kind of setting the intention to let go of what we think we know so that we can learn. And when you're ready, you can roll up or sweep up if that's more comfortable for your back. Wherever you are, nice generous bend to the knees. And let's take our Hridaya Namaskar heart salutation. So place your hands over top of your heart and just take a nice deep breath into that place of wisdom. And then bend your knees, hook your thumbs, reach your arms forward and up as you straighten your legs. And then release the hands around behind your back, interlace the fingers. Hug the elbows, lift the heart. You could hook your thumbs here or just let the hands be free, okay? Bend your knees and fold forward. Halfway lift, so the fists go back, heart forward. And then release your hands down onto the floor, or they could go on blocks. As you inhale, the right leg is gonna rise to the sky, any amount, and then step the foot back and let the knee come down. Hook your thumbs again, reach up, opening the heart gently. And then straighten that front leg, bring the hands down, flex the foot. And we take 3 breaths here. So inhaling to lengthen the heart forward and exhaling to melt. And 2 more times, you're more than welcome to have your eyes closed. And then look forward. As you exhale, let your front foot come back so that you're on your knees. I've got them just a bit wider than my hips. Thumb sticks up. We're taking Anahatasana, melting heart pose. Forehead or chin could come down. Nice deep breath into the belly. Okay, inhaling, and then as you exhale, come all the way to your belly, and you're welcome to be on hands and knees. If you're not on your belly today, you could do cat and cow here. Otherwise, fingertips off the mat, to the right and to the left, point the toes, lift the heart up as you inhale. And as you exhale, gently melt down. Lift the heart up, inhaling, and then look left and dip your right shoulder down. Come up through center, look to the right and dip your left shoulder. Up through center. Exhale, release down, place the hands by your chest and make your way back into downward dog. You could absolutely be on hands and knees if downward dog isn't working for you right now. Catch an inhale, the right leg is going to go up to the sky any amount. And then step it through between your hands. You might need to grab it, pull it forward. You could always bring the back knee down and step forward and coming into that low lunge, hooking the thumbs and rising up. Really nice. And then on your exhale, straightening that front leg, bringing the hands down, and we take our 3 breaths here. Allowing your heart to rise a little bit on the inhale and just gently melt on the exhale. Don't worry about how far. Okay, and then look forward, inhale, bend into your front leg and lean forward, lift up the back leg on your inhale. And as you exhale, just gently put it down. Bend your knees, hook your thumbs, come all the way up. And cycle your hands around behind your back. Interlace the fingers, press the fist down, lift the heart up, inhaling. And dive as you exhale. Halfway lift, heart forward, fist back. And then fingertips come down to the earth. Left leg floats up to the sky, inhaling. Step the foot back, land the knee. Hook the thumbs, rising all the way up. And then straighten that front leg, bring the hands down. Lengthen as you inhale. And gently fold. So 3 of these. And then draw your heart forward, inhale, step your foot back, tuck the toes under, and walk the hands down into Anahatasana, melting heart pose. And take a couple of deep breaths here. Okay, eventually inhale. And on your exhale, come all the way to your belly. Again, you can absolutely do hands and knees if you're not on your belly today. Point the toes, fingertips wide, lift your heart. And as you exhale, come down. Lift your heart as you inhale. Then look to the right and you can dip your left shoulder if that feels safe. Up through center, and then dip the right. Up through center. Gently release down onto your belly, place the hands and make your way back to downward dog, or again, hands and knees is just fine. Catch and inhale with your left leg up to the sky. And then step it through. So it helps to lean a little bit to the right to step that foot forward. Back knee comes down, hook the thumbs, rise up. And then straighten that front leg, bring the hands down. You can untuck your back toes if you want. And we're taking our 3 breaths here. Lengthen and melt. Eyes could be closed. Just allowing your heart to fill and then empty. Okay, and then look forward. Walk the hands forward. On the inhale, your back leg lifts to the sky. And then allow the foot to come down to the earth. Hook the thumbs, rising all the way up. And then bring your hands over top of your heart. And just take a moment to breathe here, feel here. Okay, so let's keep moving, but we'll add on a little bit to this little sequence. So bend the knees, hook your thumbs just as before, rising up. Release your hands around behind your back, interlace the fingers, press the fist down, lift your heart up, and then dive towards the earth. Halfway lift, lengthen the heart forward, fist back. Exhale, release the hands down. Inhale, right leg will rise to the sky. And then step it back into a high or low lunge. Hook your thumbs, rise all the way up. Okay, this time stay here. As you exhale, interlace your fingers around behind your back. Hook your thumbs, or you could grab your strap here. We're just going to be here for a few breaths. Hug those elbows together, lift the heart. Keep your back leg nice and strong, and maybe sink your hips a little lower down. Okay, inhale, and then gently release your hands to either side of your front foot and put your back knee down if it's not already. We're going to transition into gate pose. So you can place your right palm down just ahead of your shoulder. Walk your left foot along the long edge of the mat until it can come all the way to the back, and angle your right foot back behind you. So we're going to get that leg eventually straight. And then the left arm comes over the ear. Okay, tailbone draws down. Lengthen and breathe into this lovely side stretch. Okay, from here, you can stay or lift the left leg up, left arm rises as well. And then you might try bending the back leg, hold on to the foot, tuck the tailbone under a little bit and maybe let the chest open slightly. So we're coming into a little bit of a back bend here. Good, inhale, and then gently release back to hands and knees. Okay, your toes can be tucked or not, just place your hands underneath your shoulders. Gather your belly in just with a neutral spine. So you've got an inward curve in your lower back, but you've also got a curve in your upper back as well. So the shoulders are nice and steady and the core is gently engaged. And then extend your right leg back behind you, and you might extend the left arm forward as well. Okay, inhale, and as you exhale, draw the knee and the elbow in towards each other. Inhale, extend the leg back and lift the heel slightly so you feel your butt activate. And then bring the knee and the elbow in together. Inhale, extend, a little bit of a lift in the bum. One more time. Okay, you can stay here, or you can bend your back leg, reach behind you with your left hand, see if you can grab your foot, and again, kick the foot into the hand, shoulder back. Okay, and then gently release that, knees down, and we return to Anahatasana. So the hands come forward, melting the heart. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. And then on an exhale, we'll come to our bellies. Point the toes, fingertips off the mat. Lift your heart as you inhale. And as you exhale, fold down. Lift your heart as you inhale. Look left, you can dip your right shoulder, just if that feels safe. Up through center. And you can twist the other way. Try to keep your pelvis really steady, so it's just your upper body that's moving. Up through center. And then gently release down. Place your hands by your chest and choose downward dog or child's pose. And if you'd like to add a little bit more, you can take a full vinyasa here. So if some of you are feeling that kind of big moon energy and you want to add on, you can come forward to plank, take a little push up, pull through into upward dog or cobra, and return to downward dog. Okay, and then when you're in downward dog, walk your hands to your feet. So you're at the back of your mat. Yeah. Notice if you have an expectation, right? Lengthen up halfway, exhale, fold. And then rise up in your favorite way so you can roll up or sweep up. So you're standing at the back of your mat. Collecting shoulders onto your back, taking a nice deep breath. Lean into your left foot. Pick up your right foot and hold on to it with your right hand. Feel free to use a wall, okay, if you're working on your balance today. Bring your left hand to your heart, soften your left knee a little bit, tuck your tailbone, and again, we're opening this quadricep. So pressing the knee down, lengthening the tailbone, and just foot and the hand resisting each other a bit. And then you can stay here, or you can sneak your right hand around to the inner arch of the left foot. And then start to kick back, coming into dancer's pose. So you're reaching that left arm forward, heart forward, trying to keep the hips roughly square. And the shoulder really rolling back. Okay, inhale. Then as you next exhale, gather everything back in. Release your right foot and bring the knee into your chest. Extend that leg forward, take a nice big step. And we're in warrior one. So you can turn those back toes out a little bit, Adjust your stance, draw the tailbone down, interlace your fingers except for your first one, and send that up to the sky like a thunderbolt. You can keep your hands forward or bring them to your heart, which will be a little bit easier. Tip your chest forward, really square those hips. Pick up your back heel and see if you can play with a little bit of a balance here, lifting that back leg up. And again, the hands could be forward. That's going to be a little bit harder. So good. And then gently let the hands come down, and then the foot comes down. Yeah. Bend your knees, hook your thumbs, come all the way up. Nice work, you guys. Interlace your fingers around behind your back. Hug the elbows, lift the heart. Fold forward. Halfway lift, heart forward, fist back. And then bring the fingertips to the earth. Or blocks, left leg is going to float to the sky. And then step back into your high or low lunge. Okay, so hook the thumbs, rise up. But then we're going to stay here, release the hands, interlace the fingers, and press the fist down. You're welcome to use your strap here, okay, if you need, or hook thumbs if that's more comfortable for your shoulders. Keep squaring the hips, drawing the tailbone down, maybe sinking into it a little bit more if you can, but enjoying that heart opening. So good, you guys. Inhale, and then gently release the hands, release the back knee down if it's not already. And we're transitioning into gate pose. So I'm actually going to give you a little bit of an easier way to come into it. It might be a little bit clearer. So with both hands on the ground, just extend your right leg back, land the toes. Then plant the left hand and turn the left foot open. Toes can be tucked or not. Plant that back heel to the mat. That may or may not have been an easier transition. See how it goes for you. And then turn to the side, take your right bicep alongside your ear, and really enjoy the side bend. So I'm tucking my tailbone a little bit, puffing up along the side waist, and there's a little bit of a turn of the chest up towards the sky. Make sure you're not collapsing into your bottom hand. So think about pushing the floor away. Okay, and then extend that arm up, lift up the right leg. This is optional, of course. And you might try bending the leg, holding onto the foot, and adding this little bit of a back bend loop kind of shape. Waxing moon shape. And then gently release and come to your hands and your knees. Just be gentle with that knee that you're kind of turning back onto the ground. Feel free to be on your fists here or up on blocks. You don't have to be down on your palms if that's not working for you. And another little trick for wrists is you can fold your mat up a little bit and create a little wedge for yourself. For some people, that's really, really helpful for the wrists if you do have sensitive wrists, okay? The left leg is going to extend back. Engaging the core gently, the right arm might come forward as well. So working with a little bit of core and balance here. Inhale, and as you exhale, draw the knee and the elbow in towards each other. Inhale and extend, a little bit of a lift for the glute there. We're just doing 3 of these, which may or may not feel like a lot. One more. Okay, and then extend, stay here. Maybe try bending that back leg, turn the right thumb down, reach behind you and see if you can grab your foot, coming into another one of these little loops. So kind of like dancer's pose, hips are square to the earth, heart forward. As you're ready, gently release. Nice, you guys. Melting heart pose, fingertips coming forward, heart melting. This could be done on the elbows too. Just taking a breath here, maybe rocking your chest a little bit from side to side. On an exhale, come to your belly. Point the toes, take the fingertips off the mat. Lift your heart as you inhale. And gently fold. Lift your heart. Look right, you can dip your left shoulder. Up through center. And then you can twist the other way if that feels good. Up through center. Release to your belly. And come again to child's pose or downward dog. And if you'd like to add a vinyasa here, you're welcome to do that. Totally optional, of course. Beautiful. And then we're going to meet in downward dog so that we can walk the hands to the feet. Okay, if it's safe for you to roll up, I'm going to invite you to roll up. And as you do, make soft fists and circle them. Just giving your wrists a little bit of love. And then you can reverse the direction of the circle. And then lift up your toes, releasing your hands. You can give them a little shake. Spread the toes, put them down, lean into your right foot. Pick up your left foot and hold on to it with your left hand behind you. Your right hand can come to your heart and just start here with the quadricep stretch, okay? Totally welcome to use a wall or a chair for balance if you need. Drawing the tail down, knee points down, foot and hand are resisting each other a bit, shoulders rolling slightly back. And if you'd like to take this into dancer's pose, you can sneak the left hand across the toes to the inner arch of the foot, so the palm faces out, bending the right knee a little bit and start to kick the foot into the hand, reaching forward. Heart opening, aiming towards that maybe uncertain future, that change of energy, that shift. Okay, and then come back in, draw your knee into your chest, if you can. Extend the leg and step. And we're taking warrior one. So you might want to turn the toes a little bit out of that back foot. Hips are square, tailbone drawing down. Interlace your fingers except for the first one and shoot your arrow to the sky. Okay, you can keep your arms extended or bring them to your heart. You can always change your mind later. Leaning forward and experimenting with a little bit of a balance. So you might have your toes just still on the ground, just kind of working to lift them. You might make your way closer to like a capital T shape, but I'd love for you to have a neutral spine here. So you're not rounded in your lower back. Okay, the chest is lifted. And if you brought your hands to your heart, you could always experiment with extending them and just see how that feels for your back. If today's a day for that or not. And then release your hands down and then your foot down. Halfway lift and fold. Bend your knees, hook your thumbs, rise all the way up. And then bring your hands to your heart. And just take a moment to feel into your heart, feel into your energy, into your body. Beautiful. And then release your hands. And we're going to roll down, so reverse ragdoll. And if that doesn't feel safe, totally fine to keep your back neutral as you come down. Otherwise, bend your knees, let your head fall forward, let your shoulders be heavy, and just slowly curl down. Okay, lengthen up halfway. And then you can choose to either sit down or step back into downward dog and take one last vinyasa if you would like one. Otherwise, we're just having a nice seat. Okay, and once you've completed that vinyasa, if you're taking one, just walk forward and sit down, meet us here. Okay, so let's take a prop like a low cushion that you can sit on. And I'm actually just going to turn forward here and angle down a bit. Okay, extend your legs out in front of you. So I'm going to do my best to mirror you. Okay, let's go ahead and bend your right knee and open it up so that you're in kind of a tree shape. You might need a little prop underneath your knee, depending on what's going on here. I don't want you to feel a lot of tension in the hip flexor. It should feel relatively relaxed. Okay. And you can play with being straightforward here, or you can open up a little bit. Either is okay with me. If you're a little bit more open, you're going to get a little more stretch into your lower back, so just be aware of that. Okay, so we're going to turn towards that straight front leg, foot flexed, lift the heart, shoulders onto the back, and then we're just gently going to fold forward, which might look like the chin coming forward. It might look like a slight tilt of the pelvis. You might be actually walking your hands forward. So see how that goes for you. Think heart to toes rather than head to knee. But as you do relax your head down, if you're going to, you're going to feel the stretch in your back a little bit more. So we just want to be really gentle with that. If it feels good, that's great, but we're not pulling or forcing anything here, okay? Maybe there's a little bit of that buoyancy here in the heart, lifting a bit on the inhale and softening a bit on the exhale. If you're getting discomfort in your knee, go ahead and bend it a bit. Okay, and then gently rise up. Place your right hand behind you, and you can either reach your left arm up and just take a little bit of a side stretch, or you can take a ballet pose. So you point your left toes, lean forward, and you're just lifting your bum up. So you're using your shin to support you. You're essentially in gate pose, really. It's very similar to gate pose here. And then you're just going to put your bum back down and switch sides, extending the right leg, bending the left, and opening into a tree shape, which could be a little more open or a little more closed. It's a little bit of a different vibe, just whatever you did on the first side. Okay, sitting up nice and tall, totally fine to have a bend in your right leg. And gently coming forward, again, might be just the head, might be tilting from your hips. Maybe you can feel your heart lifting a little bit on your inhale and softening a bit on your exhale. Beautiful, and then gently rise up when you're ready. Take your left hand behind you. You can take just a mild little bit of a side stretch here, which is nice, or you can lean forward, lift up onto that chin and take a gate pose or ballet pose. And then come on back down. Okay, we'll release the legs, give them a little shake. So from here, we're going to come into a little bit of reflection, kind of aiming towards our Shavasana. So if you want to do that seated, or if there's a last pose that you want to do, that's fine. If you're coming down onto your back, you might want to take a happy baby for a couple of breaths before you rest. If you want to take this moment to do some journaling, that's also welcome. So journaling maybe on these themes of just the energy shifting, being in a state of learning, kind of beginner's mind, where we're allowing our struggles to teach us something so that we can really build a new legacy. So we'll just take a few minutes of quiet here, however is best for you to receive that quiet today. And if you haven't already, we can make our way into Shavasana from here as you're ready. So you can stay where you are if you're comfortable as is, or maybe you'd like to set up for a Shavasana, for example, with a bolster under your knees. Maybe you want to put your layers on, take off your glasses, whatever it is that allows you to feel really comfortable. Keeping in mind that Shavasana doesn't have to be laying flat on the back. You could do legs up the wall or laying on your side or just wherever you feel safest and most comfortable so that you can receive the work of our moon ritual and yoga practice. Take a moment to notice how you're feeling right now. Just come back maybe for a moment to this question of who are your teachers right now? And are you receiving those lessons with the beginner's mind and with the possibility of joy and change? And when you're ready, you can begin to deepen your breath. Bring some small movements into your body. You can rock your head side to side. Maybe there's a stretch you'd like to take. And then draw your knees in. And roll to one side if you're laying on your back. You meet in a seat, and if it feels right for you, again, maybe we can place the hands over top of the heart. Any shape for your hands that feels right is perfect. And then gently bow your mind to your hands, your heart, your breath, your body, your inner wisdom, whatever it took to get you to your practice. Honoring and acknowledging the long and complex lineage of teachers that is with us in our yoga and our tarot. Honoring and acknowledging the sacredness of the land and our relationship with it. And honoring each other. Thank you for sharing this moon ritual and yoga practice with me.